We are ready for details on our house. This is the shack one, so this is just kind of like a basic one. And we are actually going to cut a little bit down off of this back side so that we have a slanted roof so that the rain can come off of it. And we're going to add one window and a door, maybe 2 windows. So first things first, you're going to make a little mark where you want to go, and I would go about 1/2 inch. You don't want to have it like way down low. You want about 1 inch to 1/2 inch right there, and you are going to take your fettling knife and very carefully kind of mark where you're going to cut. So this back line is going to be straight across. All right, now the sides are not. You're going to start here at the corner right here, and you're going to work towards that. So it's actually, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll take my fettling knife, line it up with that point, and then match it up like that, and then just kind of press into there so I can kind of see where I need to cut. All right, we want it just a little bit of a slant like that. And then you'll do the same thing to the other side. So you will match it up. So there's my point right there. Let me make it a little bit more obvious here so you can see it on this side. So there's that. And then I'm going to take my knife and hold it right there, and then I'm just going to kind of press that clay into that knife, and then that's where I'm going to cut. Okay, so now that I have my line, just like when I cut out my windows and doors, I am just going to follow that line very carefully, making sure that I support it on the with my hands on the inside, so it's not just a random cut. We're going to kind of very carefully squish that through, and then you're going to do the same thing over here. And you're just going to cut through very carefully, and then do your angle cut on this side, and then you're going to take that off. Okay, so, and then if you need to do a little repair, a little trimming because it didn't go very well the first time, just take your knife really gently and just kind of scrape a little bit along the way. All right, and you can do some cleanup that way. So there's your slant. You got your slanted, and so when you put your roof on, it's going to sit like that, and of course we'll smooth out things. Now you're going to add windows and doors. Now if you're going to do a door, like this is your front right here, so like a hunting lodge or whatever, and let's say you're going to put in a door right there. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll use a pencil or a needle tool and draw in where I want my door. So let's say I want my door to be right here. And then maybe I want a window right next to it. I don't want to go all the way to the corner, because if I go right to the corner, then it has a tendency to rip or tear. Okay, so 2 windows and a door, and then you can add some other things. Now this is actually going to get cut open. We're actually going to make this look like it's opening. So what I'm going to do, just like we did at the top, is I'm going to go in here with my fettling knife, and I put my hand on the inside, and I am going to cut through there, just really gently slice that in. And I don't make the turn, okay? I like do that one cut, and then I turn my knife when it's out, and then cut it. You do not want to try turning while you're in the clay, because then you'll damage your clay area. So, yeah. So you always want to pull it out, then turn the knife. So you can kind of see how I'm doing that. Once you get that all done, then you can either push it out with your fingertip and set that off to the side, and you can do the same thing over here. Set it up so that you can cut out. Take your time, don't try to rush through it. And then you're just going to kind of push it out. Just make sure you go all the way through before you cut that out. A lot of times I'll save these pieces and maybe make these into a chimney and things like that. So don't throw those away. And then you have your... So with the door, if you wanted to make it look like it's opening, what you could do is you could just cut 2 sides. Okay, like that. And then the bottom is already open because we just slipped and scored that. So you can push that out, and you can make the door look like it's popping. You're going to have to kind of work that seam and just kind of reinforce it, things like that, and making sure that it comes out. So you can bend that out and make it look like a door if you want. Now, if you want to leave it there, you can. If you don't, you can cut it out completely. All right, and you don't want to like cut to China. You just want to cut enough to get to the slab, because you don't want to accidentally get your floor. All right, so double check your work, and then if you need to add more doors or windows, you can add windows to this. You can also add some details like shutters, windowsills. Like if you wanted a windowsill, it's not a big piece. You want like a little tiny piece that you can put in there, and that will add some different details to your piece. So you can add that. Don't forget to slip and score. I'm just dry fitting right now, but you can slip and score those on like that. You can, when you're done, you'll put your initials on the bottom of your house. You might need to get a partner to help you out, because you can't really lift this up and try to get your name on it. So sometimes it's good to get somebody to hold it for you, and then they can, you know, get the paper towel off of there, and you can put your name on it on the back side, on the bottom of it. And then you can sponge everything. You can put the roof on it. Make sure you put your initials on the roof. Kind of like a hunting lodge. And then if you want, you can make like a little chimney on the top. And when you do the chimney, remember that extra clay that we had. So you can put that together. There is an angle on this. So if I just put it in there like that, then your chimney's not going to look straight, and we want to angle it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a little bit of an angle off, a little triangle off of there, so that when it sits, it will sit straight looking. So I'm going to slip and score these together like that, and then I'm going to slip and score the bottom, and then where it's going to attach. So let's say I want it right about there. So I'm going to slip and score there, and slip and score right on there on the chimney side, and I'm going to push that into the house, and get that stuck on there really good. And then if I want, a lot of times they have like little capstones on top of there like that, so you can that keeps the ash from flying all over the place. So a little chimney capstone. And you would add your slip there, and then you would stick that on there like so. So I just used all my pieces of clay from my windows, except for that little triangle that I have left over. But you can see how I added all those things. So that's how you do the shack. So if you're interested in the shack, that is what you're going to do.